Last week, you learned how to say yes in Chinese with 5 different categories. And I know these kind of videos are great to watch. They're fun, there's not a lot to do, and they're very informative so that instantly you feel you're smarter than before. However, I do believe when it's about learning Chinese, just knowing how to do it is not enough. Because knowing how to do it is one thing, being really good at it is another. And today's video serves the second goal. I want to make sure that you really become good at it, so that you definitely can answer all the questions you've learned so far correctly and always correctly. Since you've been learning Chinese for a while now, I'm sure you have noticed knowing the theory is great, but the practice is truly the only reason that you can become really good at Chinese. So today, there will be a lot of practice, but within the practice, I will tell you one trick, how to answer these questions in a short form, but still make sure that you sound sincere and warm. So make sure you stay till the end. In my last video, I explained there are 5 categories of questions that require different yeses in Chinese. So far, you have only learned 2 kinds of them in detail, fact questions and status questions. A fact question raises a question that requires a true or false answer, such as 你是老师吗? Are you a teacher? And the answer must be true or false. And a status question asks about a status, and you should know this status is not necessarily about the truth. It is your opinion, such as, is the school far away? And you need to decide, is it far or not far? And today, you will practice the yes to all the questions you have learned so far, which belong to these 2 categories. Hi, this is Chi from Deepling, a channel that makes Chinese easy. If you're new here, this is a place where you could learn Chinese as a beginner as easily as possible and for free. If you're interested, I have a short trailer for you where I explained why I offer completely free Chinese courses on YouTube. Yes, they're free with no strings attached. So if you're learning Chinese, please subscribe to follow all the courses that I publish every week. Learning Chinese, like learning any other languages, means spending a lot of time with it. This is a process that is not rational. It is not about knowing how to do something rationally. It is an emotional process because you are building a deep, meaningful connection to another language. And you can only make that happen if you know something without even knowing that you know. So you can say something without thinking. Only by doing that, you can truly say you've made a part of Chinese yours. Here, I have to warn you again, just like lesson 14. This lesson is extremely easy, and having an easy lesson might have the consequence that you learn just 3 sentences and then you think, well, I know how it works, and I will just stop because I know it already. No, learning a language means a lot of repetition. In fact, repetition is the master of all skills, especially when it's about a language. So, learning a language means repeating a lot, and here is one of the lessons where you need to repeat. So please make sure you do the exercise and at least watch this video to the end. Now, let's get started. The goal is to help you answer these questions without thinking. Today, you will practice with 40 questions, and you will answer them with yes. I intend to help you speak as much Chinese as possible, so I suggest that you answer all these questions with entire sentences. I presume that you have already watched the last video, How to Say Yes in Chinese, the definitive guide. If you haven't, I'm gonna need you to stop here and go back to that video, because that video gives you a very good overall impression on how yes works in Chinese, generally, better than this one. And this one goes into the depth and focuses on practicing so that this part of the knowledge really becomes yours. And for those who have been following my courses so far, I want you to understand that I will repeat some of the content that you already know. This is because I need to make sure that the things that you've learned stay in your head. So today's lesson is more about reviewing rather than learning completely new stuff. Now let's start with a short review on how to say yes in Chinese in two categories: fact questions and status questions. It is about the logic behind the answers. Fact questions require true or false answers, such as, are you a teacher? And there is only one truth about it. You are or you aren't. So the yes here is, yes, it is true that I am a teacher. A status question requires a descriptive answer. Is the school far away? And your answer describes how far away you find the school is. If yes, then the answer is, it is very far. These are the basic rules for today's exercise. For those who have been following my courses, today's lesson is a sequel from Lesson 14. So you do need to finish Lesson 14 first to keep moving on to this one. Because today you're going to learn how to say yes to the specific questions you've learned from Lesson 14. With that all being said, let's get started. As already mentioned in the last video, you can say yes to a fact question with 是的 without any further complement. In this case, 是的 is truly equal to yes, as it indicates something as the truth. It is a true or false question. Now, I'm going to tell you the trick I promised you at the beginning of this video. We all know that sometimes it happens. You know what is the right answer. It's just at some certain point of time, you forget it. Let's say you just met a native speaker for the first time and he or she asked you, 你是老师吗? Are you a teacher? And you know the right answer is 是的，我是老师. However, you just forgot it at that moment. You can only remember 是的. What to do now? If it were English, I'm sure you would have had much more choices. You could say, for example, yes, I am. I'm an English teacher. Or, yes, I teach English at this school. You can find all kinds of different answers that would all be correct because you have a solid intuition for the English language, which you don't have for Chinese. Not yet. When speaking Chinese, you still feel insecure about any answer you might give because so far, there is no answer that you could feel absolutely sure about. And this is something you need, something that works as a backup plan. It is short and always works. For that purpose, there's one thing you need to know. I think I've mentioned it before, but this is something that is worth mentioning over and over again. Chinese love repeating stuff just to show that they're friendly. So in this case, if you don't know what to say anymore, you just repeat 是的 twice, such as 你是老师吗? 是的，是的. That's enough. But if you really want to show you're very, very friendly, you could just repeat 是的 4 times, such as 你是老师吗? 是的，是的，是的，是的. This also works for status questions. If someone asks you, is the school far away? Let's say somebody asked you, 学校远吗? Is the school far away? And you know the answer is 很远. So you could say 很远很远. just to show you're friendly. If you want to add more information to this answer, you can upgrade your Chinese to an even higher level by simply adding the major between I am and teacher. For example, English. 是的，我是英语老师。Yes, I am an English teacher. Based on this, you can add anything you like. 是的，我是德语老师。Yes, I am a German teacher. 是的，我是音乐老师。Yes, I am a music teacher. 是的，我是数学老师。Yes, I am a math teacher. Just make sure you put these words in the right position. Now, finally, let's get started with the real practice. You will first hear the question, and then you will give these questions full answers. Let me show you how. You will hear the questions in Chinese, and then you need to speak out loud your answer. Shortly after that, you will see the answers to help you check if you are right. Let me show you how. You will hear, 你是老师吗? And you need to answer with 是的，我是老师. And then you will see the answer right after you have spoken out. Check if you were right. This also applies for the status question. You will hear, 你好吗? And you need to answer with 我很好. Then check if you were right. Now, finally, let's get started with the practice. How to say yes in Chinese with full answers. Answer these questions fully. 这是丽丽吗？是的，这是丽丽。这里是柏林吗？是的，这里是柏林。狗是动物吗？是的，狗是动物。你是医生吗？是的，我是医生。他是老师吗？是的，他是老师。爱是我和你吗？是的，爱是我和你。生活是体验吗？是的，生活是体验。时间是金钱吗？是的，时间是金钱。知识是力量吗？是的，知识是力量。体验是财富吗？是的，体验是财富。天是蓝的吗？是的，天是蓝的。山是绿的吗？ 是的，山是绿的。水是清的吗？是的，水是清的。地球是圆的吗？是的，地球是圆的。苹果是我的吗？是的，苹果是我的。柏林是欧洲的吗？是的，柏林是欧洲的。时间是有限的吗？是的，时间是有限的。真的吗？这是真的吗？是的，这是真的。Of course, the other option you have learned is still right, which is 真的，这是真的。衣服是新的吗？是的，衣服是新的。车是二手的吗？是的，车是二手的。Now, the status questions. 你好吗？我很好。你冷吗？我很冷。你热吗？我很热。你高兴吗？我很高兴。你伤心吗？我很伤心。爸爸好吗？爸爸很好。妈妈好吗？妈妈很好。工作好吗？工作很好。电脑好吗？电脑很好。房子好吗？房子很好。房子贵吗？房子很贵。工作忙吗？工作很忙。公司远吗？公司很远。 学校近吗？学校很近。芒果甜吗？芒果很甜。天气热吗？天气很热。今天冷吗？今天很冷。春天美吗？春天很美。公园大吗？公园很大。学校远吗？学校很远。And that is it for today. I hope this video helped you gain easier access to Chinese and made Chinese learning a little easier for you. If you liked this video, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't, please subscribe to follow all the courses I publish every week for free, because together we can make Chinese easy.